Alini binti Huzairul Azrin.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Muhammad Azizul Hakim bin Zulkifli.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Imran bin Yusli.
So I will be the first presenter. So we are from Group 1. We'll present on the topic, the minimum wage in Malaysia should be raised. So we decide to choose this topic because we want to study why the minimum wage in Malaysia is insufficient and why it should be increased. So here are our group members. Okay, as for the introduction, we briefly explain the meaning and purpose of the minimum wage. And as we narrow down the introduction, we explain the minimum wage in Malaysia. The citizens in Malaysia have argued about the minimum wage, especially in daily conversation and on social media platform. They have argued why the minimum wage in Malaysia is insufficient and they want the minimum wage to be raised. So this is our thesis statement. The minimum wage in Malaysia should be raised as it allows those who make minimum salaries to have a more adequate income level to survive with rising cost of living, to minimize wage discrepancies and income inequality, and to enhance one's health. So we can see the parallelism in the thesis statement in terms of the phrases, and we use active voice for our thesis statement. So I will pass to Imran.
Yes, I will explain about our main idea. First and foremost, one of the reasons we need to raise the minimum wage is to have a more adequate income level to cope with rising living costs. So, by raising the minimum wage, it will help the people with low income to improve their standard living. So, as an example, the higher tax rates and oil gas price as a result from economic slump raise the living cost. So, beside that, housing costs at different states have a different price, and the price for food, for house rent, for service, they also vary significantly. So it is difficult for those particular groups to make ends meet, and to make matters, it is different from household or their income level.
So moving on to the next main idea, which is about minimizing wage discrepancies and income inequality. There are many jobs that require great physical strength, but unfortunately, they are paid less than jobs that are easier to do. This situation would make many workers become irritated because their effort and hard work in performing in their duties does not reflect the amount of money they are paid. This income inequality will also affect the motivations of those workers that are paid too little, and it can even result in employees quitting their jobs. Besides, the small amount of salary received would cause them to not get good treatment and medication when they get sick as a result of the intensity of work that they must do. So, according to a study that was conducted in 2018, those who were involved in physically demanding jobs had an 18% higher risk of dying early than those who are involved in easier jobs. So we can see that that is how challenging jobs that require great physical ability and great physical strength come to be. Furthermore, income inequality would also affect children's education. This is because a child from a low-income family is more likely to not get a good education as a result of their parents' lack of money to pay for school fees. Not only that, children from different classes of family background would not socialize with each other because they live in different areas according to their family income. This current inequality would likely to be passed down to future generation because children begin to be unequal from birth and they will continue to be that way into the future. That's all.
So the third main idea is to enhance one's health. So human beings, they require money to pay for all basic necessities. So we all know that having enough money is important because with money we can buy protection and safety for ourselves and for our family members. Hence, it is our obligation to work in a society in which everyone can get enough food, shelter and healthcare. However, the minimum wage in Malaysia is not enough for the low-wage workers to pay for all the basic needs that they require. According to a study by American academics of family physicians, there is a correlation between low income and poor health outcomes. Poor individuals are more likely to have great difficulty to get better healthcare, such as hospital facilities, get access to skillful specialists and essential medications. They also have difficulty to get basic needs that benefit health, such as nutritious food and clean water. Besides, due to very low amount of the minimum wage, they cannot afford health insurance coverage. It is very beneficial, especially when unexpected things happen, such as death, injuries, or accidents. Especially nowadays in Malaysia, there are a lot of HFMD and COVID-19 cases, which lead to high risk of getting become sick.
In conclusion, Malaysia should raise the minimum wage to provide more educate caliber to cope with rising rising living costs, to reduce wage disparity and inequalities, and to enhance people health. So, as for recommendation, Malaysia should raise the minimum wage and nationwide standardized minimum wage should not be implemented. Instead, state by state minimum wage should be proposed because different states have a different living cost.
Okay. Finish your last
Okay. So from our some positive, is narrated by Abdullah bin Umar. Rasulullah SAW said that give the worker his wages before his sweat dries. So from this hadith, we can see that Islam teach us to be fair in related to akad, especially those involved with transaction between humans. So Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala command us to be fair and to carry out the contract that He has signed. I think that's all.